The unknown working stock solution is diluted in such a way that you will get an absorbance at your analytical wavelength that brackets the middle range of your Beer's Law plot for your standards. Now, my particular standard that I used had a pretty low iron weight, so these absorbances are lower than what you will have. But for my particular calibration curve, my midpoint absorbance, and you can kind of eyeball this or you can calculate it exactly if you'd like, but I have a midpoint absorbance of roughly 0.25 absorbance units. So it's a little bit of trial and error initially. Try one dilution of the working stock and see what absorbance that gives you. If you get an absorbance around the midpoint range, then you're going to do all volumes around that. So once you do a few trial and error measurements, find that target volume that gives you that midpoint absorbance, and then you'll make several dilutions around that amount. Diluted unknowns are made by delivering various volumes of the unknown working stock solution into your 100 milliliter volumetric flask. After delivering the volume of working stock unknown into the volumetric flask, add 10 mils of the phenanthrene and wait 5 minutes. After waiting 5 minutes, then diluting this solution to the mark. After diluting to the mark, then mixing well by inversion. After preparing the diluted unknown, you will then check its absorbance at your analytical wavelength. If a lot of time has elapsed, go ahead and re-zero your spec with your blank. After re-zeroing the spectrophotometer, you're then going to, still using that same cuvette, pre-rinse that cuvette with your diluted unknown solution. And see if this particular unknown gives an absorbance around the mid-range of your Beer's Law plot. Remember, for my particular Beer's Law plot, 0.250 absorbance was the midpoint region. Okay, this is an absorbance of 0.269. Looking at where 0.269 is on my graph, that is right around the midpoint area, plus or minus 0.1 absorbance units. So anything between 0.15 and 0.35 would be ideal. This particular dilution used 15 milliliters of working stock. So 15 milliliters is now my target volume, and I will make 3 or 4 additional diluted unknowns all around 15 milliliters of working stock use. 14.5, 15.5, things along those range. And then record the absorbance at the analytical wavelength. This will give you the multiple trials that you will then calculate the percent weight of iron. Consult your instructor if you need any help.